Okay, Chris is captain over here. Who is captain?
Harrison.
Harrison, okay. Coaches, we ready? Okay, toss up one. Three-word answer required. For fixed income securities, this economic concept equals the dividend rate divided by the purchase price. With common stock, it refers to the annual dividend divided by the purchase price. What three-word term in corporate finance can be considered return on equity or invested capital and is abbreviated ROR? Correct. Bonus 2. Suppose a triangle has sides measuring 8 units, 10 units, and 15 units. Classify the triangle according to its angles. Incorrect, Captain. It's an obtuse triangle. Toss up 3. You use the literary device if you claim that your backpack weighs a ton, or that your... Correct. Bonus 4. This thermodynamic variable is equal to internal energy minus the product of temperature and entropy. It's not Gibbs free energy, but this potential measures the useful work of a closed system can perform. Identify this other type of free energy, often symbolized F or A. Incorrect, Captain. Helmholtz energy, or Helmholtz free energy. This type of musical work developed under Andre Gabriel and his nephew Giovanni in Italy. Johannes Brahms wrote one nicknamed Rain or for violin, while one by Beethoven is nicknamed Moonlight and is one... Correct. Bonus 6. 2 of this play's 4 characters contemplate hanging themselves from a tree before watching a third man dance and think. Lucky leads his blind master Pazzo, while tramps Vladimir and Estragon hope the title character will appear for their meeting. Give the title of this absurdist play by Samuel Beckett. Correct. Toss up 7. This type of administrative division is found in 48 states, with the equivalent division in Alaska called a borough. Name the most common... Correct. Bonus 8. This substance is unusual in that its genotypes are determined by far more than the usual 2 alleles. Claudius Galen posited that the liver created one of the 2 forms of it present in the body. Identify this substance, whose movement through the body was first accurately chronicled by William Harvey. Incorrect, Captain. Correct. Toss up 9. In a distribution of heights, the mean height is 70 inches and the standard deviation is 5 inches. Calculate the z-score for a person with a height of 65 inches. Correct. It's -1. Toss up 10. This saint met with Sultan al-Malek al-Kamil while on a trip to Egypt during the 5th Crusade. He founded the Order of Friars Minor, was marked with the stigmata after seeing a vision of a 6-winged angel, and embraced utter poverty. What patron saint of animals is the namesake of the Pope elected in 2013? Incorrect. Incorrect. Saint Francis. Toss up 11. This special type of rock was discovered by Eugene Shoemaker and Edward Chow about 1960. It is created when the rock changes its microscopic structure under extreme pressure. Incorrect. What kind of quartz is only created when a nuclear bomb is exploded or when a meteorite hits the earth? Shocked. Toss up 12. This writer used his linguistic prowess to translate Beowulf, which was published in 2014, 90 years after its completion. He borrowed an earlier novel's character for the adventures of Tom Bombadil and described his fantasy universe of Ea. Correct. Bonus 13. This dance's creator claimed it was inspired by a fusion of Courtney Cox and Eddie Murphy. It helped earn Whitney Carson a perfect 40 on the 2014 Dancing with the Stars episode, Dancing with the Star, for whose character it is named. What dance is named for Alfonso Ribeiro's character on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Correct. Toss up 14. This nation gained its independence in 1860. Incorrect. In 1867, after being controlled for centuries by Burgundy, Prussia, Spain, France, and the Netherlands. As of June 2015, its head of state was Grand Duke Henry, identified the smallest of the Benelux countries. Luxembourg. Toss up 15. If a committee of 3 people is to be chosen from a group of 8 people, find the number of distinct committees that can be formed. Incorrect. 56. Toss up 16. This daughter of Francis I was slandered by rivals of her husband who could not consummate the marriage to produce an heir. In the so-called affair of the diamond necklace, she was accused of having an affair with a Catholic cardinal. What queen of France told the people had... Correct. Bonus 17. This scientist discussed plants, animals, natural objects, and the human body in SCKAC and causae et carre. The latter work's second section contains an incredibly long, detailed list of natural remedies for common and uncommon ailments. Name this medieval polymath, notable for being one of the first major female scientists. Incorrect, Captain. Hildegard. Toss up 18. Express your answer in terms of pi. A hemisphere has a radius of 5 units. In square units, calculate the surface area of the hemisphere. Time. It's 75 pi square units. Toss up 19. This dancer was criticized for creating his own choreography to replace Agnes DeMille's original Broadway dances in the film version of Brigadoon. He danced with Frank Sinatra in On the Town, and in another film sang I Walk Down the Lane with a happy refrain, after swinging on a lamppost with a closed umbrella. Name this dancer and star of Singing in the Rain. Incorrect. It's Gene Kelly. Toss up 20. This story, which may have originated from the dangers Iraqi merchants faced in trading with Eastern nations, includes a valley of diamonds and a whale that the hero mistakes for an island. The title man makes and loses his fortune over 7 voyages, which include encounters. Incorrect. The title man makes and loses his fortune over seven voyages, which include encounters with a rock, the old man of the sea, and a monster who resembles Polyphemus. Give the title of this story from the 1001 Nights. Sinbad the Sailor. Toss-up 21. The founder of this empire and his three brothers supposedly emerged from the middle of three caves at Pakari Tempu. They became leaders of several groups of people who emerged from the other caves and wandered in search of fertile land. What empire, legendarily founded by Manca Capaca, arose in Peru and neighboring parts? Correct. Bonus 22. This composer worked with Ravi Shankar, with whom he later collaborated on an album titled Passages. He displayed the Eastern influence in an opera about Gandhi, while the libretto of another consists of numbers and Sophia's syllables. Who composed music in fifths, Sutagrahu, and Einstein on the Beach? Incorrect, Captain. Correct. Toss-up 23. This Spanish word ultimately derives from the Arabic term meaning the brick. In 1982, the company responsible for Acrobat, Flash, and Photoshop adopted its name. Correct. Bonus 24. Evaluate the expression sine of the quantity negative pi divided by 4 closed quantity. Captain. Negative square root of 2 over 2. Toss-up 25. This process starts with pioneering plant species and results in a self-sustaining climax community. Its best example can be seen on Mount St. Helens. Incorrect. Its best example can be seen on Mount St. Helens since its eruption in 1980. Name this process of changing species in an area over time. Succession. Toss-up 26. The second of these two conflicts was also called the Arrow War and the Anglo-French War, and lasted from 1856 to 1860. The first began in 1830 and involved Great Britain, but not France. Identify these wars fought in China over the trade of a... Correct. Bonus 27. This ion's concentration is multiplied by the concentration of hydrogen plus to give 10 to the negative 14. Also known as K sub W, the autoionization constant of water, it naturally bonds to the principal source of aluminum, and sodium bonds to it in a cleaner, also known as caustic. What is this negatively charged diatomic ion with chemical formula OH minus? Correct. Toss-up 28. Consider the vector 2, 6. Calculate the length of the vector. It's 2 square root of 10. Toss-up 29. This artist contrasted the red and green clad John with the white clad Paul in the foreground of a work whose background shows St. Peter and Mark. In one of his engravings, a bell, hourglass, scales, and magic square are displayed on a wall behind an angel leaning on his hand. What German artist created works titled The Four Apostles and Melancholia 1? Durer. Toss-up 30. This poem begins, to drumbeat and heartbeat, a soldier marches by. There is color in his cheeks, there is courage in his eyes. It describes an American patriot who mourns that he can lose but one life for liberty. What is this Francis Miles Finch poem whose title names the Revolutionary War officer? Incorrect. What is this Francis Miles Finch poem whose title names the Revolutionary War officer who regretted that he had but one life to lose for his country? Incorrect. Nathan Hale. Toss-up 31. This element was first synthesized by bombarding curium-248 with calcium-48, though its most stable isotope has a half-life of only 60 milliseconds. It is projected to behave similarly to polonium since it fills the 7p orbital for the chalcogen group. Identify the element with atomic number 116, discovered in 2000 and given chemical symbol LV in 2012. It's livermorium. Toss up 32. Consider the function f of x equals x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x plus 7. If the function is divided by the quantity x minus 3, what is the remainder? Seven. Toss up 33. Removing this symbol would not be easy. Governor Nikki Haley said after she... Correct. Bonus 34. This novel's protagonist is unstuck in time, allowing him to move between various moments in his life. Billy Pilgrim survives the Allied firebombing of Dresden and a kidnapping by Tralfamadorians, from whom he learns a new way to perceive time. What is this novel whose title names the place that shelters Billy from the Allied attack by Kurt Vonnegut? Incorrect, Captain. Correct. Toss up 35. This architect used a mosaic style involving fragments of ceramic disc and colored glass to decorate the exterior of works like Casa Batlló. His best known structure is an incomplete 18-spire church on which construction began in 1882. Name this architect of Barcelona's Sagrada Familia. Incorrect. It's time, and that's Gaudi. And that's the half. You ready? No subs? Okay. Toss up one. This company was the first to mass produce LEDs and, along with Dow Chemicals, created the herbicide known as Agent Orange. In recent... Correct. Bonus 2. Consider the function f of x equals 3x squared. On the interval from x equals 1 to x equals 3, calculate the area under the curve and above the x-axis. Captain. 26. Toss up 3. This dramatist set his comedy Bartholomew Fair at the London celebration of the same name and composed several masques for the court of King James I. He introduces characters with overriding obsessions in every man in his humor and draws on beast fable elements in his play subtitled The Fox. Name the Jacobin playwright of Volpone and The Alchemist. Incorrect. Ben Jonson. Toss up 4. Many scholars believe this period in history began with a private, unanswered letter written to several bishops. Its founder said he differed from earlier reformers because he dealt with the roots of corruption, not just the corruption. Identify this period of history that was begun on Reformation. Correct. Bonus 5. Philosophers who have discussed this religion include Josiah Royce in a series of lectures at Oxford. Bertrand Russell explained why he was not a member of the religion by saying it was based on a concept not worthy of free men. What religion did Soren Kierkegaard defend while saying he could not dare to call himself a believer? Incorrect, Captain. Christianity. Toss up 6. One theater in this city was housed in a renovated tennis court and was led by the playwright of Platonic lovers. The Gray Ghost haunts a theater named for its location, while a circular theater was home to the Lord Chamberlain's men. What city is known for the Drury Lane and Globe theaters? Correct. Bonus 7. These organisms belonging to the family Arctitudae has only been seen near Japan. Known for their extremely large eyes, their primary predator is the sperm whale. Identify these extremely large, tentacled, ink-producing cephalopods that can grow as long as 43 feet. Correct. Toss up 8. In this work, a group of geese sets up camp in Heorot, where they hang a monster's but severed arm as... Correct. Bonus 9. Consider the function f of x equals log of the quantity x minus 5, close quantity. What is the smallest integer in the domain of the function f? 1. Incorrect, Captain. 0. 6. Toss up 10. In his memoirs, he wrote... we'll see. It already restarted once, so it shouldn't. Here, let's do this. Just official time out there. Yep, I figured that out the other day. Or actually, I emailed them and they put it on there for that. Okay, here we go. Toss up 10. In his memoirs, he wrote that he felt sad and... Incorrect. In his memoirs, he wrote that he felt sad and depressed and at the downfall of a foe who had fought so long and valiantly. Though he disagreed with the cause, his campaign slogan was, "Let us have peace," and he narrowly defeated his Democratic opponent, Horatio Seymour, who accepted the surrender of and gave a parole to Robert E. Lee at Appomattox Courthouse. Correct. Bonus 11. Kurt Schweider, or Spitzer, called this type of art Merz pictures from the last syllable of the German word for commerce. The technique was a favorite of Dada and Surrealist artists, especially Max Ernst. Name this form of art in which clippings from various sources are pasted together into a new unified whole. Correct. Toss up 12. In this play, Joseph Assagai proposes to an American medical student and hopes to convince her to... Correct. Bonus 13. Consider the equation sine of the quantity 2x close quantity equals 1. If x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 2 pi, find the exact solutions to the equation.
0 and pi.
Incorrect, Captain. It's pi divided by 4 and 5 pi divided by 4.
Time out, please.
Time out. There's seven. She said math. This will be 14. It's actually 22 because I haven't read 14 yet. Okay, you ready? Toss up 14. These compounds all contain a six-membered ring bounded to a five-member imidazole ring and are the most common nitrogenous heterocycle in nature. A derivative, incorrect. A derivative of these molecules, uric acid, causes gout, which can be treated by consuming foods rich in their complementary molecule class. What are these compounds that include adenine and guanine, and they're paired with pyrimidines to make up DNA? Purines. Toss up 15. He gained the admiration of the soldiers under him as an artillery officer at Saint-Mahieu during World War I. Helped by the Pendergast machine, he was elected. Incorrect. Helped by the Pendergast machine, he was elected county judge in 1922 and U.S. Senator in 1935. What vice president from Missouri became president upon the 1945 death of Franklin D. Roosevelt? Correct. Bonus 16. Cambridge educated, he arrived in Boston in 1631, then moved to Plymouth Colony rather than associate with the Puritans. He declared himself a seeker in 1639 and was useful in the colonies because he spoke Narragansett and was trusted by the tribe. What religious reformer banished from Massachusetts Bay Colony founded Rhode Island in 1636? Correct. Toss up 17. In this novel, which takes place at Thrushcross Grange, and the title location, sickly Linton marries young Catherine, who is held prisoner by her father-in-law. Heathcliff weds Isabella. Correct. Bonus 18. The farthest of these objects that we have seen is at redshift 7.1, about 12.9 billion light years from Earth. They are powered by large amounts of gas choking a supermassive black hole, causing the gas to superheat and be shot out of the black hole. Name these ultra-luminous objects very far from Earth. Correct. Toss up 19. In one play by this author, Nina names her son by Ned Darrell for her dead fiancé Gordon. In another play, a clash over farmland pervades a love triangle involving Ephraim, his wife Abby, and his son Evan. What dramatist wrote Strange Interlude and Desire Under the Elms?
Smith.
Incorrect. Eugene O'Neill. Toss up 20. Consider the circle with the equation x squared plus y squared minus 4y equals 15. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle? Incorrect. Incorrect. 0, 2. Toss up 21. Consider the arithmetic sequence with an initial term of 5 and a common difference of -3. Calculate the sum of the first 10 terms of the sequence. Incorrect. -85. Toss up 22. In one opera by this composer, a character rejects a potential lover in the aria in which she declares her desire to be free and move from joy to joy. That character who too late realizes her desire to accept the love of Alfredo is Violetta, who is dying of consumption. Name the composer of La Traviata, whose other operas include Aida. Verdi. Toss-up 23. How many prepositional phrases does the following song lyric contain? Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Correct. Bonus 24. First and last name required. A patrician, he committed himself to the anti-nobility faction by marrying a daughter of Lucius Cornelius Cinna. He was elected praetor in 62 BC, was elected consul in 59, and married Calpurnia in 58. Who started the Roman Civil War in 49 BC by leading his troops across the Rubicon? Incorrect, Captain. Correct. Toss-up 21. One category of these kinds of cells is pluripotent. What type is found in, that type is found in mammalian embryos and aroused controversy surrounding, yes. Bonus 26. This route spread through 14 states with Thomas Garrett, Quaker, helping many make the trip. Estimates of the number of people who traveled it to freedom range as high as 100,000. What name was given to the route used by slaves to reach freedom in Canada? Correct. Toss-up 27. Exposure to this substance can create a downward glissando when a gong is struck. It may have been used by Antonio Stradivari to store the wood with which he made his instruments. What substance must be applied to the fingers before playing a set of musical wine glasses? Correct. Bonus 28. First and last name answer required. This character's name has come to symbolize any ordinary timid person who is given to adventurous and self-aggrandizing daydreams. He imagines piloting a Navy hydroplane, facing a firing squad, and performing a highly skilled operation as he chauffeurs his wife around town. Who is this James Thurber protagonist? Correct. Toss-up 29. Consider point A with coordinates 2, 3. If point A is rotated by 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin, find the coordinates of the image of point A. Incorrect. -3, 2. Toss-up 30. He first rose to prominence in 1924 when his doctoral thesis, Researches on the Quantum Theory, formed the basis for wave mechanics. His theory was confirmed in 1927 by experiments carried out. Correct. Bonus 31. As conceived by Plato and Aristotle, this type of government meant rule by morally and intellectually superior men. Historical examples include the Brahmin caste in India and the patricians in ancient Rome. What term also refers to the nobility who provide many of the leaders who serve a monarch? Correct. Toss-up 32. Consider a circle with a radius of 6 units and a central angle of the circle with measure of 135 degrees. In units, calculate the exact length of the arc intercepted by the sides of that central angle. Incorrect. It's 9 pi divided by 2. Toss-up 33. Fungi in this group include Aspergillus niger and the fungi used in penicillin. Some yeast and molds are placed in this group, though once a particular structure is observed, its members are moved to their proper taxons. What group of fungi are asexual or have unknown sexual cycles? Incorrect. fungi imperfecta, or deuteramycota. Toss-up 34, first and last name answer required. This character learns from her father that you never really understand a person until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. A citizen of Mycom, she plays with Dill Harris, learns not to fear Boo Radley, and watches her father defend Tom. Correct. And bonus 35. David Bachrock photographed this man as he sat down after finishing a short speech. A Thomas Ball sculpture has been criticized for showing him standing while another man kneels. What U.S. president is shown seated in a statue by Daniel Chester French, created for his memorial in Washington, D.C.?